We're halfway through 2025. Here's your full second quarter market update. Curious how much your home could be worth in today's market? Wondering if now's the right time to move or stay put and play the long game? Well, grab a brew and give me a few minutes because I've crunched the numbers, stalked the Rightmove charts and spoken to more buyers than I can count. And the results might surprise you. This is your complete update for Cadishead, Rixton and Irlam. The real figures, the street level insights and some straight talking advice to help you make smarter property decisions in 2025. So whether you're a homeowner, a landlord, soon to be seller or just a nosy neighbour, this is your one-stop update for what's really happening in the housing market. Hi there, I'm Oliver, your local property investigator and Rightmove addict. I'm back with the big one, our mid-year market report. That's right, the first half of 2025 is officially in the books. So if you've been wondering, is it the right time to move or are prices crashing yet? Keep watching because this isn't guesswork, it's street by street insight. Listings, sales and a little bit of market magic. Let's kick off with some numbers. Don't worry, I'll keep it snappy. So let's jump straight into Irlam. We had 140 new listings so far this year. That's 17% up on the first half of last year. So yes, your neighbours are moving. 120 sales agreed, a 26% increase to Q1 2024 and nearly 21% above the long-term average. That's no fluke, that's momentum. And despite all that movement, we still only have 84 homes available. So the market's got energy, but it's selective, like a toddler in a restaurant. Lots of activity, but only for the right thing on the menu. Pricing. Confidence is creeping back. Sellers are asking an average of £256,531, up slightly, but nearly 5% higher than they were at the end of last year. Buyers. They're not scared, they're paying an average of £257,869. That's up 11.4% year on year. And as per square foot basis, asking prices £299 per square foot, agreed prices £301 per square foot. Yep, that's right, buyers are paying more than asking. Not always, but enough to say if your home's priced right and looks sharp, you're in the driving seat. Sellers are sticking it out and buyers are following through. Here's where things get encouraging. Withdrawals down 29%, fewer sellers are backing out. Fall throughs down nearly 9%, more deals are actually crossing the finishing line. Price changes are up 7.6%, but these aren't desperate drops, they're smart course corrections. There is a market where the savvy are winning, not the speculative. The verdict, a solid first half with room to grow. Compared to the average over the past 6 years, Irlam's market in Q1 2025 is shining. More listings, more sales, higher prices, less faffing about. Honestly, it's one of the most balanced markets we've seen in years. There's still gaps between Rightmove dreams and reality, but when the strategy's right, the results are bang on. Let's move on to Cadishead. Thinking Cadishead's just another postcode on the map? Think again. The first half of 2025 has been buzzing, and I've got the numbers to prove it. Market supply and listings. Let's start with the shelves, or should I say the streets. Properties for sale dropped nearly 30% compared to this time last year. But that's right, only 52 homes were on the market in Q1 2025, down from 74 last year. Blink and you'll miss them. But don't worry, sellers are still showing up. New listings reached 88, and that's actually 5% above the 6-year average. So if you've been thinking of selling, you're not alone. Sales agreed. Buyers are biting. Here's where it gets interesting. 85 sales were agreed in Cadishead this half. That's a 15% jump from last year and nearly 27% above the 6-year average. Buyers, they're definitely still out there, just being a little picky. Price trends. What's your home worth now? New listings average £255,050, up nearly 7%, and agreed sales £233,723, also up 6.8%. That's healthy growth and a sign sellers are pricing smart. Pound per square foot update. New listings up to £278 per square foot, 13% rise. Sales agreed, £263 per square foot. That's up nearly 10%. Translation, buyers are paying more and sellers are setting their sights higher. But crucially, they're meeting in the middle, behind the scenes. What sellers are doing right? Here's a fun stat. Price reductions are down 27%. Withdrawals slashed in half. That means fewer sellers are getting cold feet and more are pricing right from the start. Fall-throughs crept up slightly to 14, but that's still bang on the 6-year average. So yes, chains are holding together better than your Nan's Victoria sponge. So what's the verdict? Cadishead property market in the first half of 2025 is looking sharp. There's less stock, stronger pricing and confident buyers. Think of it as a game of musical chairs, only with mortgages and viewings instead of music. If you're sitting on the fence, hop off. Whether you're upsizing, downsizing or just market curious, now's the time to get strategic. Let's jump across the border into Warrington and have a look at Rixton with Birchwood. Welcome to Rixton and Birchwood, the land of cul-de-sacs, commuter dreams and a market that's been quietly rewriting the rule book. Market mood, less listings, bigger prices. Let's be honest, the first half of 2025 has been a game of quality over quantity. We've seen fewer homes for sale, fewer listings and slightly fewer deals. But the deals that did happen, hot property. Properties for sale, 59, down 12% on last year. New listings, 86, down 8.5% year on year. Sales agreed, 72, just under the long-term average. It's like the market took a breather but didn't take its foot off the pedal. Pricing. The Birchwood boom, as I like to call it. If you're wondering whether prices are holding, they're not just holding, they're leveling up. New listing asking prices up 20% to £278,322. Sales agreed average up 16% to £253,009. Price per square foot. Listings at £290, but buyers only paying £280, both up nearly 10%. That's what we call a strong handshake between seller and buyer. Competitive but respectful, like a game of darts. Seller behaviour, more confident, less panicked. Here's a twist. Price reductions are down, withdrawals are down, fall-throughs are down to just 14, bang on the 6-year average. Translation, deals are sticking, sellers are realistic, and buyers, they're not flaking like last year's paint job. Summary, Birchwood's got brains and balance. While it wasn't a volume bonanza, Birchwood's first half of 2025 market was smart, resilient and serious. Fewer listings, yes, but pricing power, definitely. If you're in Birchwood or Rixton and wondering whether it's time to move or cash in, this is your signal. Drop me a message today for a Birchwood or Rixton property checkup. No pressure, no jargon, just real advice from the local market nerd. That's me. If you thought 2025 was going to be a slow burner, think again. The first half of the year across Cadishead, Rixton and Irlam has been a tale of tighter stock, smarter sellers and buyers who still mean business, even if they're playing it cool. Across all three areas, we've seen fewer homes for sale than the same period last year, down 30% in Cadishead and 12% in Rixton and Birchwood. Yet new listings inched up or held firm, showing sellers haven't disappeared. They're just being more selective or smarter. Buyer activity still strong. Cadishead saw a 15% rise in sales agreed. And although Birchwood and Rixton didn't break volume records, the deals that did happen were solid and priced with confidence. In fact, average sale prices rose across the board. Cadishead up 6.8%, Birchwood with Rixton 16%, and pound per square foot sellers are aiming higher and buyers are stepping up. Birchwood hit £280 per square foot sold, Cadishead £263. And here's a stat to make any seller smile. Price reductions and fall-throughs were down in every area. Translation, homes are selling and deals are sticking when priced correct. Bottom line, stock is slimmer, prices are stronger and serious buyers are still in the market. This isn't a time for guessing, it's time for guidance. Strategy is beating speculation in 2025. So if you're in Irlam, Cadishead or Rixton and wondering what your home's worth, let's find out. I'll bring the local insight, the data and probably a brew. Message me for your free property MOT today Or a worst case, you don't want me visiting your house, we offer a market report in under 16 seconds. Just have a look for the link in the text. And I'll see you on the next market report.